Hi, I'm Kim, and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. As many of you know, I receive lots of emails, and guys, thank you so much for all your wonderful communication. It's really been very beneficial to me. Now, I receive emails from survivors that are free, and I receive emails from people who are being hoovered or have gone back after hoovering, and I want to talk about the comparison between those two emails today. Now, once someone is free and they've absolutely internalized the reality of the situation, once they have absolutely determined in their heart of hearts they are never going back, emails all appear a certain way. People talking about how they're restoring their careers, restoring their financial situation, rebuilding their lives, how they're becoming reconnected to people that the narc had isolated them from, how they're joining groups and clubs, revisiting their passions, their hobbies, and how they were definitely shaky upon departure, but how steadily, day by day, their life has gotten better, how they've experienced this tremendous awakening, and how they see things, not just in the relationship, but in the world, so much clearer. It's as if people are just blossoming, and pretty much all of the emails, though there will be slight variations, are all very, very similar. They're very encouraging, real heartfelt stories of how people's lives have been transformed for the better, actually. Like, people really feel like they have a new sense of empowerment, a new sense of their selves, a real desire to grow and develop, to be the best them they can be. Hope, they have gratitude, they have a sense that there's a really bright future ahead of them. No one to date has ever said it was easy. They've all said the struggle was well worth it. Then you consider the emails from people who have been hoovered back in. People who had begun the healing process felt that they were well enough, mentally strong enough to take another kick at that cat. And let me tell you, the emails from those people, well, they don't read the same. Not at all. Immediately, people become physically ill again. Immediately, people are back on the eggshells. Immediately, they've got that sense of terror. Physical symptoms, of course, are including hair loss, a lot of physical pain that doctors find very, very hard to diagnose, immediate change to their financial situation. Careers immediately start to come apart again. They find themselves almost immediately isolated, but that's not all. Of course, you've noticed so many new channels, and all my best to everyone who's been brave enough to step up and expose this. So many new blogs, so many new avenues opening up, new support groups where people are really doing their best to expose this insidious form of abuse. But with this expansion and exposure, we're seeing a real acceleration in narcissistic abuse. Now, emails are often accompanied with images of court orders, police reports, photos of people's injuries, women with their faces smacked in, stories about how it took 3 surgeries to put their arm back into position, broken arms. My God, do we have a rash of broken arms. I will tell you that Trevor, too, was very, very quick to twist my arm, and I've been wondering about this arm twisting thing and this arm breaking thing. I have personally heard from people, I think we're at about 15 now, who went back, were hoovered, went back, and had their arms broken, either one arm or both. Now, I don't know if the narc sees our arms as the tools we will use to crawl out of their deep, dark hole. I don't know if they see our arms as the wings we'll fly away on, but the narc does love to break an arm. So if anyone else has had injuries to their arms, I'd love to hear from you. But this has been accelerating and accelerating. The violence is increasing. Damage to people's property is increasing. Everything from smashed windows to kicked in doors to dead dogs to dogs, pets being taken or killed. It's just getting weirder and weirder by the minute. We'd all agree that there is a common thread that links these pieces of shit. So what I'm seeing within that hive mind collective that they all share is the push to create awareness is creating a massive push to silence people. One-time victims are fast becoming survivors, and people are truly moving on and flourishing. People are reestablishing themselves, reinventing themselves in a way that clearly is shining a very bright light and truly raising the vibration of human kindness here on planet Earth. And my God, that hive mind collective is not liking this. Not only has the subscribership grown, but the countries that victims represent has grown. And hello to our new friends from the wonderful nation of Jordan. Certainly a pleasure to meet you all, and a great increase in friends from India, all over the world. So I think it's safe to say through personal experience that the collective of targets, victims, and survivors is absolutely global, as is this insidious population of narcissists, psychopaths, borderlines. I mean, this is an absolute global epidemic, but more than that, I do believe they do work off a hive mind collective. And as the energy level is coming up, as the vibration is coming up, as empaths, victims, and survivors, as people are working diligently to try and help our fellow man through exposure and truth-telling, so is the level of abuse. I received an email this morning from a fellow Canadian, a wonderful woman who actually doesn't live too far from here. In fact, she lives quite close to one of my sons. So I'm hoping next time I visit my son to get a chance to meet this beautiful person. But this woman is really struggling with that push-pull. Do I go back? I'm being hoovered. How am I really going to cut this person off, this person that I really believe that I love? And I was really torn by how I felt about that email. On one hand, I was absolutely elated that this Canadian friend had taken the time to introduce herself to me, because I can see a potential friendship there. But on the other hand, I felt sad and I felt sick and I felt very, very worried. So if you're watching this video, my friend, I'm hoping you use extreme caution. This is a lovely woman that lives in a beautiful community with her children who is torn. I'd like to say to you right now, as a friend, as a fellow Canadian, as a fellow victim, do not do this to yourself. Do not do this to yourself. Do not do this to your children. For any of you that have had a personal experience with going back after a hoovering, please feel free to leave a comment and share your experience with this friend, because I'd really hate to see anything bad happen to her. Truly believe that the narcs and psychopaths, BPDs, are absolute slaves to their hive mind agenda. And I will say, through my personal experience and what I'm truly seeing right now, is an increase in exposure and a tremendous pushing back. I think we all agree that these fucking creatures are dangerous at the best of times, but right now, as they're being pushed into a corner, as they're being exposed in mass amounts all over the planet, I believe they've become absolutely infuriated. If you've left and you're being hoovered, you have to realize that the only way you can be hoovered is if you've left. So if you've left, you have committed the absolute worst narc injury against them. You have abandoned them. This is their greatest fear, though they were pushing for it, though they created it. It is their greatest fear. It will instill in them the absolute maximum, the absolute most epic narc injury. If you have injured them in this way, they are not trying to hoover you back in because they want to love you. If you're out and you're free and you're having a bad day, trust me when I say I had many bad days. I truly did. My hair didn't stop falling out immediately. My nose didn't stop, bleeding immediately. These things take time, but if you keep moving forward, I assure you it will get better. If you're free, stay free. Do not get back on the narc train. The narc train is heading straight to hell. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I hope you guys are having a great narc-free day.